Two dudes are jawing about the new map that dropped in Dungeon Craft, crafted by none other than Kangchi. They're hyped about how insanely hard and twisted the map is, straight up wondering if Kangchi might actually be a bot instead of a real human. Then another dude rolls up, eyes on Kangchi, and starts teasing him. Like, yo, you really messing with bots? And why you eating at this tiny-ass spot when you're raking in mad cash? Kangchi fires back that the food's just too damn good. He's always been about the game life and the thrill of building crazy maps. Later, after bouncing from the convo, Kangchi heads home and mulls over why he's so hooked on the game. If anyone asked, he'd say it's because in-game he can control things that he just can't in real life, like tweak the form and size of objects with a single click. Out of nowhere, as he's crossing the road, a wild truck, seemingly running on chaos, comes barreling at him. In a game, he'd just delete that truck. But IRL, the truck driver slams on the brakes, stopping it just in the nick of time. Kangchi cracks. Man, I thought I was about to get isekai'd. The truck driver then loses it, yelling at him for being in the middle of the road, but Kangchi just points to the pedestrian crossing sign and strolls off, leaving the driver stunned. Then things take a wild turn. A steel bar from a construction site starts raining down on a little girl. Kangchi dives in, pushing her to safety, but the bar crushes him and he dies. Next thing, he wakes up in a darkness that feels like being sucked into a black hole, wondering what the hell is going on. A mysterious being shows up and starts spitting some crap that neither Kangchi nor we can really decipher. I mean, honestly, what he said didn't even matter, but it's on screen for those who are curious. Anyways, Kangchi eventually opens his eyes in a sketchy castle. When he checks his reflection in a mirror, he's shocked to see he ain't human no more, but a damn demon. Now he's left wondering if getting isekai'd is all it's cracked up to be. Before he can figure his shit out, an unfamiliar demon girl pops up and stabs him in the back, nonchalantly asking, "It hurt, huh?" Like she just casually punctured his sternum. Kangchi flips and asks, "Why the fuck you stabbed me?" She spits out that she hated him and was dead set on killing him, raising her sword for the finish. Kangchi's like, "What did I do to deserve this much hate?" Right then, another demon whips the sword right out of her hand. The demon girl snaps at him, asking why he got in her way. Now, the boy demon, Tarme, who tells the girl, Caldera, to stop messing with Kangchi. Tarme then tries to chill him down and hands him a potion, calling him Kella, apparently the new name for Kangchi's reincarnation. Kella, thinking it's a healing potion, chugs it down. Tarme's surprised because he never drinks his own brew, but Kella starts coughing up blood. The potion's firing up his throat like straight poison. Caldera then drops that she wanted to be the one to off him, and Tarme observes that even though Kella was in mad pain, he just wouldn't die, meaning his poison recipe was a damn flop. Just then, the castle doors swing wide as the Demon King, Hel Khaldun, storms in after his hero hunt. Both Tarme and Caldera act like he's their pop, so it seems Kella's also the Demon King's kid. Khaldun steps up, asking what all the commotion was about, and when Caldera tries to pin it on Kella, Khaldun grabs Tarme and Caldera by the neck, calling their noise a disgrace and saying he only wanted the sound of a mighty demon's final roar. Before anyone can catch their breath, he knocks out Kella, Caldera, and Tarme. In short, Kangchi reincarnates into another world as Kella, surrounded by two demon siblings out for blood and a demon king dad who doesn't give a fuck about him. In Kella's flashback, before all the demon drama kicked in, little Kella was bawling his eyes out because Caldera straight up jabbed his eye with a fork and Tarme tried to poison his grub. His mama, all badass and unapologetic, told him, "You're a demon, so show him what that means." But Kella's like, "Nah, mom, if I start clapping back, they'll off me first." She then drops the truth bomb that even his pops went and offed all 12 of his own brothers to snag the Demon King crown. And just to make sure he got it, she whips out a knife and stabs him as a grim demo of preemptive strike tactics. Man, this family's twisted as hell, and gotta admit, his mama was fine as fuck. Anyways, back in the now, Kangchi, now Kella, snaps out of that memory when a demon maid comes through with a "You good, Kella?" vibe. Turns out those scars from that mess, the stab wounds and poison, already healed because our boy's rocking some crazy regenerative skills. I mean, I always wondered how he managed to survive when his sister's stabbing him and his brother's poisoning him on the daily. This maid, Rin, with all the nonchalant attitude, tells him it's time for the family meal. Now, Rin's always been a bit of a bitch to Kella, since the kid was always the underdog and bullied like hell, but that only made him realize that this messed up world isn't too different from his old one. Rolling into the dining hall, his father, the Demon King, calls him out for being late. Pops's presence is overpowering, but Kella holds it together and apologizes as he takes his seat. The moment he sits, Caldera greets him by chucking a knife at his leg with her feet. Kella, not trying to blow his cover that he's actually Kangchi reincarnated as Kella, bites his tongue. But as he digs in, he figures out the grub's been poisoned by Tarm, who's dead-ass asking if the food was as delicious as he intended it to be. Shocking? Nah, just another day in this fucked up clan. That's when Kellis had it, realizing these three dickheads aren't fam at all. In his past life, he was the strongest map designer, but still got bullied around, and he ain't about to relive that mess. So he grabs a plate of that deadly food, turns on Seldera, and says, "Taste this, bitch," while drenching her with it. Then he spins to Tarme, snatches that knife she tossed, and goes, "Yo, nigga, try some of what Seldera dished out this morning," before jabbing Tarme in the arm. Finally, he blasts at his pops. "Yo, pops, we're demons. Why the hell we got a happy meal together? Let's eat alone from now on," and flips the table, leaving his father and the whole crew shook. Later on, as Kella's roaming around, nursing a half-assed beating from his demon dad for the table flip, he can't help but feel damn good about clapping back at those sorry siblings. Thanks to his insane regen, he bounces back in no time. And he even senses some new foreign energy pulsing through him. No shocker, since his old man is the Demon King. Rin steps in again, telling him it's time for his damn lesson on demon powers. Kella, ever the savage, fires back. "I already know, so shut your mouth, bitch." And damn, that caught Rin off guard. According to his old memories, these lessons were some of the worst crap he'd ever endured before he got reincarnated as Kella. But there's no backing out now. He's marching into class. Once there, the instructor drops that Seldera and Tarm ain't showing up today. That's when Kella peeps that every demon in class, who used to beat him bloody and get hyped by his siblings to do it harder, is back for round 2. What they don't know is that Kella ain't weak, even if he's got a soft spot. Plain and simple, he was a big old bitch. But now that Kangchi's taken over, shit's about to change. The instructor walks in and asks who's up to spar today. One dude speaks up like, "It's me and Kella," and then throws a little jab like, or should I say, "Sir Kella." Everybody laughs, expecting Kella to fold like always. But nah, not this time. Kella keeps his cool, steps up to the front with zero hesitation. Instructor signals the start. Now this dude's hyped, thinking he's about to mop the floor with Kella like usual. The rest of the class, already laughing, waiting for Kella to start crying like back in the day. But Kella just stands there, calm, thinking, this is just like my past life. High school all over again. No money, no strength, just getting bullied left and right. But now, ain't no damn way I'm letting it happen again. And just like that, Kella's mana starts leaking out like a damn tsunami. Dude can't even move from the pressure. His knees bow to give out. Then boom. Kella blitzes him with one clean hit. Straight to the face. My guy hits the floor so hard, folks start whispering, "Yo, is he dead?" Nah, he ain't dead, but trust me, he's never pulling anyone again with that face. Kella leans down and asks, "What was that? You called me Kella, not Sir Kella?" Dude starts begging like his life depends on it, and Kella just goes, "Don't ever do that again." Honestly, Kella's too nice. If that was me, I'd have stomped him out till the floor got dense. Then he looks at the instructor, who's visibly shaking like a wet puppy, and says, "Hey, teach, class ain't over." Instructor's like, "Yes, of course," trying to act normal while internally screaming. Meanwhile, unknown to everyone, the Demon King himself just watched the whole thing go down from the shadows. Back to Seldera and Tarmi, both laid up getting treated. Seldera's mad as hell that Kella straight up threw poisoned food at her face. Tarme's like, "Yo, chill, focus on healing. We don't got that broken regen skill like he does." Seldera yells, "Exactly! Why the hell is he the only one with super regen?" Then Tarme remembers something wild. "You remember when he flipped that table this morning? I swear, I saw Father smile. For the first time in my life." Seldera hears that and loses it even more. So Tarme drops an idea. "Look, I know we don't work together. We're both gunning for the throne, but just this once, let's team up and get rid of Kella." And Seldera? She's down. "Yeah, we kill him before Father gives him all the shine." Cut back to class. Instructor brings up a hologram, old image of the previous Demon King, Turk Khaldun, said to be the strongest in his era, till he got taken out by the Heavens Guild with some shady, cowardly ambush. Ever since then, all these other greedy guilds been circling the Demon Kingdom like vultures. Kella's watching all this, quiet. He knows every single one of those guilds. That's the reason he can't leave the Demon Castle. Too many eyes, too many threats. Instructor says, "To protect the kingdom, y'all gotta give it your all in combat class." And the class echoes back like good little soldiers. Later, Kella's chilling on the castle rooftop, deep in thought. He knows he can't just sit around. If he does, either his psycho siblings or the Heavens Guild's war is going to catch him slipping. So he asks Rin, "Father's leaving for battle in 3 days, right?" Rin nods. Kella's like, "All right, Demon Castle's got one big-ass weakness. We never had a proper map architect. Those guilds are using the neglected territories to sneak attacks. But I got a plan." He decides to spend the next 3 days mapping out the entire kingdom, terrain, choke points, the works. So when war hits, his pops can wipe the floor with the enemy. And in the chaos, Kella plans to dip. For real this time. Kella didn't waste no time. Man snapped his fingers and told Rin to whip up a secret office in the castle basement, like, right now. He needed a spot to plot his moves where his pop's Demon King Hel Kaldun wouldn't be lurking over his shoulder. Meanwhile, Hel Kaldun himself was still nursing his wounds, low-key recovering like a tank, but not sleeping on his son. Bro's staring into the abyss like, yeah, I gotta keep my eye on Kella. Gotta confirm it before it's too late. What's it? Hell if we know. Anyway, Rin comes through with the office, and it was tragic. Kella looked at her like, girl, what is this? Rin, shaking in her damn boots, goes, you said make it a secret, right? This is as secret as it gets. She then stares at Kella like she's seeing him for the first time. Damn. This dude used to be a walking L, but now he low-key kinda cool, and just as her mind starts spiraling into Fantasyland, Kella snaps, quit dreaming and get me a cup of coffee. ASAP! Rin darts out like she's in a track meet, but halfway down the hall, she freezes. Wait a damn minute. What the hell is a coffee? At the same time, Hel Kaldun's shadow looms behind her. Demon King just rolls up and hits her with the stare. What you doing down here in the basement? And where's Kella? Rin, lips zipped, eyes wide. Kella told her to keep the office hush-hush. But like, who tiff is trying to lie to the literal Demon King? So yeah, her mouth did what mouths do. Back in the janky office, Kella's deep in the zone, looking over a map of the Demon Kingdom. Dude's like, man, this place is just like the game from my past life, and just like before, making maps is my favorite part. Boom. Door flies open. Hel Kaldun storms in and without even flinching, plunges his hand straight through Kella's chest. If you're trying to kill me, boy, do it properly. Stop hiding behind secret basements. Kella's eyes go wide, but he grits his teeth. Damn, that hurt more than when Seldera stabbed me. But then again, it is the Demon King. Figures. Still bleeding out like it's just another Tuesday, he holds up the map. Look, the outskirts of the Demon Castle are weak as hell for the incoming fight with the Heavens Guild. But if we shift the terrain like this, it'll give us a major edge. Hel Kaldun studies the map. He pulls his fist out of his son's chest. You could have just told me this. Why build a damn office in secret? Because I knew you wouldn't let me. I needed to finish it first, then show you. I'm trying to help you, Pops. I want to help exterminate the Heavens Guild. Normally, those words would have signed his death warrant. But this time? How long is it going to take to finish the map? The Demon King asks. 5. 5 days? That's too long. They attack in 3. Nah, I said 5 hours, Kella grins. In 3 days, we'll have the terrain ready. Just chill, sip a coffee, or whatever they got here, and let your boy run the plays. Hel Kaldun pauses. Shocked, impressed. Fine, but if that map's trash, I'll use it to rip you in half. Then he turns and walks out like a boss. Kella slumps back. I lived? What kind of dad stabs his son? Oh yeah, Mom stabbed me too when I was 5. Never mind. He calls Rin back in and tells her to haul his bleeding self to the medics. 5 hours later, map complete. The demon army moves out like clockwork. Construction begins, and the mages cast massive illusion magic to hide the entire operation. The terrain itself starts to change, just like Kella planned. Meanwhile, back at the Heavens Guild's base, the guildmaster gets word. Sir, the demons are warping the land. Should we strike? Nah, the guildmaster scoffs. Let them build. In 3 days, the Talkin' Force, the strongest unit in Talua, is gonna roll up. Them terrain tweaks won't mean a damn thing. The Talkin' Force, legendary as hell, comes flying in, mounted on dragons. One soldier turns to their red-headed commander, Cirrus. Commander, we really gonna pull this off? We taking the Demon King's head? Cirrus flips her red hair, eyes glinting. Relax, bro. We ain't just taking it, we gonna slice it clean. Back at the Demon Castle, Hel Kaldun, the big dog himself, stared at the map Kella cooked up. It wasn't flawless, sure, but with his body on its last leg, he didn't got time to be a critic. Tomorrow wasn't just another battle, it was the day hell and heaven clash. And hell was going to settle this with the Heavens Guild once and for all. Meanwhile, the demon army was grinding non-stop, reshaping the kingdom's terrain just like Kella had mapped out. Kella watched it all unfold, and while it wasn't as smooth as slapping terrain tiles in a game with a mouse, it was working. The clock was ticking and everything was lining up. All he had to do now was wait for the war to pop off. Then, the next morning, the Talkin' Force, Talua's pride, its strongest elite, pulled up to the Heavens Guild assembly. The guildmaster welcomed them without hesitation, and the Talcon commander wasted no time, saying they were ready to end the Demon King once and for all. With everyone hyped and geared up to move out, they thought they were about to steamroll the demons. But then, a magic circle flared up in front of him. The Talkin' leader's instincts kicked in. This wasn't just some flare, this was a sneak attack. He barked out commands, forming defensive lines, but when the circle exploded open, it wasn't an army. It was one man. Hel. Freakin' Kaldun. Straight in the middle of their territory, standing like he owned the place. The Heavens Guild was shook. This, all part of Kella's plan. See, beforehand, they'd disabled the surveillance barrier the Heavens Guild had around the Demon Kingdom, making it possible for Hel to slip through undetected using teleportation magic. But not everybody was feeling it. Seldera and Tarme had tried to shut that idea down. Hel wasn't fully healed yet, and they knew it. But the king wasn't trying to hear it. He wasn't about to sit on the bench while the real fight was happening. So here he was, right in enemy territory, ready to make a statement. As the Heavens Guild scrambled and the Talkin force locked in, the battlefield went full chaos. But while all eyes were on Helkalden, Kella was already moving his next piece. Behind the scenes, the full demon army was locked, loaded, and already en route. Everything was on track. Once the enemy got tunnel vision on Hel, Kella dropped the hammer, ordering the entire army to charge in. Now the Heavens Guild was boxed in, caught between the Demon King in their core and the Demon Legions storming from the flanks. But just when it felt like checkmate, two familiar shadows slipped through the chaos. Seldera and Tarmi. They weren't here to fight the army. They were here to end him. They'd seen enough of Kella's rise, and this was the moment to snuff it out. But they knew brute force wouldn't cut it. Dude had regen like a cheat code. No matter how many times he bled, he bounced right back. So Tarme went first, lashing his whip and locking Kella in place. No escape. Then, without hesitation, Seldera lunged, blade gleaming, aiming straight for Kella's throat. And this time, they weren't playing.